talk about the 2019 Mid-Engine Corvette. Now throughout this year, there's been a lot of spy images taken of the Mid-Engine Corvette, and there's also been a lot of information leaked. But what people are still wondering is, will the Mid-Engine Corvette be available for the 2019 model year? And what kind of power can we expect to see from it? Well, in this video, I'm going to be talking about the latest rumors about the 2019 Mid-Engine Corvette, and I'm also going to show you some spy images and give you a little history about the Mid-Engine Corvette. So with that being said, let's get started.
The Mid-Engine Corvette. It's something that car enthusiasts have been dreaming about for many years. Countless concepts have been created by GM, but none of them have ever made it to production. But all of that is about to change. This year, there have been multiple sightings of mid-engine Corvettes out in public. Here are some of the latest images taken back in July. As you can see, the car is heavily camouflaged, but it's still recognizable as a Corvette. The fact that this car is so heavily camouflaged is a good sign that we're looking at production-ready bodywork. What's even more interesting is that when these images were taken, Chevy had just shut down the plant that produces Corvettes. And for those of you who don't know, the Corvette assembly plant is in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Now Chevy says the factory was shut down to prepare for the 2018 model year. But many people are speculating Chevy is preparing to produce the mid-engine Corvette. Now these last few images taken show the employees getting out of the car and covering it up with a black tarp. I think it's most likely that they saw the spy photographer taking the pictures and they decided to cover it up. Now some of you might be wondering, why would they cover this car up? It's already so heavily camouflaged. Well, it's really anyone's guess, but my theory is that because the roofline was exposed and the fact that you could easily see through the cabin, they wanted to cover it up. Now this isn't the first time that Chevy has done this. There have been sightings in the past where they put a black tarp over the vehicle to prevent spy photographers from taking pictures. Now I can understand this. Chevy's hard at work making a mid-engine Corvette, and they don't want a lot of spy images circulating. But wait until you see these next images. The mid-engine Corvette was just spotted this month, and of all places, at a McDonald's drive-thru.
Hi, welcome to McDonald's. How may I take your order?
Yes, I'd like to order a cheeseburger value meal with a Diet Coke to drink, and for my son, I'd like a Happy Meal, the chicken nuggets with the boy's toy of a 2019 mid-engine Corvette. That's all.
819 at the first window, please pull around.
In these images, we can see the car going through the drive-thru, and we also see some GM vehicles behind it. But take a look in the background. There's another mid-engine Corvette in the parking lot. I think it's interesting that earlier this year, Chevy was so concerned about keeping the car covered up, but now they're parading it through McDonald's. This is all confusing, but I'm sure Chevy has their reasons. Now there's a couple things worth mentioning about these photos. First of all, the fact that the car is going through a McDonald's is a good sign that the car is about ready for production. And another thing worth mentioning are the wheels on this car. Not only do they look special, but they appear to be production-ready wheels. I think it's safe to say that the mid-engine Corvette is very close to production. So if you're in the market for a new Corvette, better start saving now because it won't be long until it's released.
One thing that a lot of people don't know is that Chevy has been thinking about making a mid-engine Corvette for several years now. Throughout the Corvette's history, there have been several mid-engine concepts made, but sadly, none of them have ever been mass-produced.
Ever since the 1960s, Chevy has teased the idea of making a mid-engine Corvette. Many concepts have been made throughout the years, but none have ever made it to production. Now what I'd like to show you is a magazine I bought exactly 10 years ago. It's an issue of Motor Trend magazine from 2007. This was the first car magazine I ever bought. So you're probably wondering, why am I showing you this old magazine? Well, when this issue came out, they were talking about the next generation Corvette. And one of the things they heavily talk about is the mid-engine Corvette. Throughout the article, they show concept images of Corvettes throughout the years. The article says that the vice chairman of GM was pushing for a mid-engine Corvette for the 7th generation. And it goes on to say that a mid-engine Corvette would coincide with a front-engine Corvette. But on the next page, they talk about some of the pros and cons of a mid-engine Corvette. And one of the things that probably killed it was the fact that it would have cost a lot of money to make. You have to remember, this article was written back in 2007, and the very next year came the recession of 2008. And as we all know, GM ended up getting bailed out by the government, and the mid-engine Corvette project was shelved. So had it not been for the recession of 2008, there would probably be mid-engine Corvettes on the roads today. I mean, let that sink in for a moment. If it wasn't for the recession, the mid-engine Corvette would probably have been made at this point. And here we are, exactly 10 years later, and the mid-engine Corvette is all but confirmed. It's only a matter of time before the mid-engine Corvette is revealed to the world.
So what are my final thoughts on the mid-engine Corvette? I think it's so exciting that Chevy is finally going to make a mid-engine Corvette. I mean, after years of speculation and rumors, we finally have concrete evidence that Chevy is working on a mid-engine Corvette, and the release is right around the corner. I mean, literally, we're coming towards the end of 2017 already, and within a few months, Chevy may finally release a mid-engine Corvette. And if there's ever been a time in history to release the mid-engine Corvette, that time is now. The car world is on fire right now, and the competition is greater than it's ever been before. Now, will I be buying a mid-engine Corvette? Honestly, I would definitely consider it, but I'm afraid the price point's just going to be a little too high. People are speculating the mid-engine Corvette will cost anywhere from $95,000 to maybe even $105,000. Now that's a little pricey, but it's definitely going to be an amazing car. I can't wait until the day comes when the mid-engine Corvette is being pitted up against a Ferrari. So what do you guys think of the mid-engine Corvette? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching this video.